What you doing? I'm your otaku trainer, the AC Stories, with this alcohol anime. Is that how I normally intro this? I don't know. Anyways, so, you probably know. Oh wait, I should have done a bit about about pretending to be someone else. Nope, I didn't think that far ahead. I could restart. I'm not going to. I am talking about the film, kind of one of those weird situations. Great Pretender, Razbliuto, which you probably know because you clicked on and decided to listen to this. Ooh, this is gonna be a weird one today. So I don't know, however you say that word, Razbliuto. Fun fact: that means sentimental feeling you have about someone you once loved but no longer do, and I'll get to that at the end of it. So I'll get into all the info about this. I am feeling it because the alcohol, not interesting, not that clever. But I think it works for what I'm going to say. It's the Great Pretender, and starting right off the bat, because this is alcohol anime, like I have to say every time, starting with alcohol. It comes first in the name. It's coming first in this discussion. I am doing something very simple. It's not clever, but I think it's very well understood what I'm going to mean. I just drinking vodka, just vodka. Because here's the thing: when it comes to drinking vodka, drinking alcohol, what is the thing people like to pretend the most? That they're drinking water, or vice versa. Sometimes people will joke about drinking vodka when they're really just drinking a glass of water. It's a funny thing to do. Everyone else is drinking. You see someone with a full glass of water, you're like, oh, look at you drinking. Wow, you're drinking a whole glass of vodka? Yeah, it's not a funny joke, but it happens all the time. How do I know this? Because it literally happened earlier this week when I was out with just a group of people, and someone said that exact thing to someone, and I'll come a few days later, and then I was like, oh, wait, I still need to do episode of alcohol anime. Already had Great Pretender queued up, remembered I did that, and I was like, wait, it all works out. I don't have to think of a drink because this is the perfect opportunity. People pretend water is vodka, or if you're a kid going to school and want to, don't know how to say this. What do they say? Not content warning, parental advisory, whatever. I'm not, kids don't drink, get caught, don't do that. But you know the thing, being young, being underage, and you want to sneak some alcohol. You get a water bottle, you get some vodka. It's clear like water, and you're like, oh, you got a water bottle of vodka. Yeah, yeah, it's that easy. I've done that. I've still done that even when I was overage, just because flasks are a cool thing. I like flasks. I have a couple flasks. I've used a flask before. I used a flask when I went to go see Silent Voice in theaters. I brought a flask of tequila with me and had a beer there too. But I never really used it. I don't really ever see anyone use it, because if you have a flask, people know what you have in a flask. Here's the thing: water bottles could have anything in them. Usually water. I don't know why vodka is the thing you would have in a water bottle, because most water bottles aren't clear unless you have like an actual Aquafina, Dasani, whatever, those kind of water bottles. But most other water bottles aren't see-through, I feel like. Especially now when you have not canteens, the big, what's a Stanley? That's that stuff? I don't know, whatever. I don't use that crap. So stuff like that. A camel pack? That'd be interesting. So yeah, pretend vodka is water, water is vodka. That is probably, when it comes to alcohol, one of the greatest pretenders. But then I had another idea. I was like, that's too easy. That's too simple. I want to mix drinks. I want to do something. I was like, what is another pretender? I was like, alcoholless beer. I've had a few. Some aren't bad. I had like a Budweiser one. Yeah, surprisingly wasn't bad. Not great. And then Sam Adams. But I want to try something new, of course, because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something new. But what is even more pretending than alcoholless beer trying to be beer? Uh, Here's what I went with. I went to the store just to see what else there was, and I was like, I'm just going to get whatever the cheapest thing is. Because I'm not going to waste my money on alcoholless beer, because it's such a dumb thing that a lot of alcoholless beers are the same price as regular beers. I don't get that. I don't know how it's made or brewed or whatever, but I'm not going to pay the same price. I have. But for this case, well, I know what it is now. I've tried a couple. I don't want to try anything else if I don't have to. I just got the cheapest thing, which was Busch in a non-alcoholic. Even though I looked it up, it's like 0.4% alcohol still. I had a Budweiser. I'm pretty sure it said it actually was 0%. So I got that, and then the vodka I got is Sobieski. It's a Polish vodka, 100% rye. Don't know if I've ever actually had rye vodka. Really, a lot of the vodkas you get in America, American made or whatever, don't say what kind of vodka they are. I never realized that till I went looking. And it's kind of a cheap bottle too. It's an okay vodka, but here's the thing. I realized I haven't taken shots of straight liquor in a while, apparently. I can't even remember. I have sipped on usually whiskey. I have some weird whiskeys. Oh, I've used them in previous podcasts. I'll sip on them a bit. But I haven't really just taken shots. And earlier when I took a shot, it hit me. I was just to try out the vodka. Even before eating, I haven't really ate anything. I was empty stomach. I took half a shot with someone else, and it hit hard. So yeah, apparently it's been a while. So yeah, then I ate. Then we watched a movie. It all turned out okay. Alcohol wise, I mean, I'm here now, and my genius mix of what to do, and you probably already saw it coming. Mix the vodka with the alcoholless beer. I guess it's not technically alcoholless beer anymore, because why would I drink that if I had a choice? Oh wait, I have done it about choice. So just ruined the integrity of it, you know. And the Bushes in a non-alcoholic beer, not bad. It doesn't taste gross. I don't drink Bush. I don't know what Bush normally tastes like. But it doesn't taste like much. It kind of has a weird sweetness hidden in it. And then it also has like some weird something also hidden in it. I don't know. But it's not gross. It's drinkable. Mix a little vodka in it. Yeah. That's actually not bad. Yeah, it kind of reminds me almost of, almost reminds me of that initial sip I just took. You know, I've been drinking all day. I also mixed it with whiskey, too, just to try that earlier. I mixed it up. You know, that wasn't part of it, but I still have that pineapple whiskey, whatever. But, so, I switched it back. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I'm getting all confused and mixed up. I'm drinking it mixed now. I mixed it with whiskey when I was eating. Then, while watching the film, it was take a shot of vodka and then chase it with the non-alcoholic beer. And for the sake of just convenience, I mixed it again now, so I don't have to keep taking shots. I can just drink it from the glass. And it kind of tastes like Sapporo, which I've been craving. And I've been wanting to get more of. So, wow, that's kind of interesting. Maybe this is a good idea, because it's kind of cheaper. Like, the Bush was less than $6. The Sobieski was about $14. Wow, that's not bad. It was not great with the whiskey. But yeah, that's actually not bad. That's weird. Oh. Okay. So the last part, though, of this little alcoholic tale is, if you listen to my other past few episodes, I kind of brought it up. I brewed some of my own beer, and I thought it would be funny to get that. The whole reason I got the original Budweiser, the non-alcoholic one, was because I was like, hey, I'm going to brew this beer. I'm going to need to bottle it. I'm just reusing old bottles I was recycling or reusing, just so I didn't have to buy completely new bottles. So I was like, it'll be funny. I'd just get these bottles, and then I could drink it around and pretend it's not actually alcoholic. Hey, pretending. I didn't do that. I don't have those bottles anymore. But I felt like that would have been a great thing. Also, I never took those around and drank them as if. I only drank them at home. But man, I considered it. I thought it would be funny to take them to work because I took the original bottles, the non-alcoholic ones, to work and would drink one for lunch. But I didn't do it with the actual ones. That would have been great pretending to do. And I always meant to include those in one of these alcohol anime episodes, but I never did. So it's a thought that counts, I guess. But this is the Great Pretender for me. It's a song. It's an anime now. It's probably something else. And for me, it's vodka and non-alcoholic beer. That is my Great Pretender. And it is not bad. It's not bad at all, actually. Don't do it with the weird whiskey I had, because just one of the whiskey's bad. Ugh. And then, this isn't too bad. Dang, this is almost half the bottle of vodka's gone. Ooh. Huh. Okay. Now, I didn't take too many shots of vodka. I also had some whiskey. Well, I guess I had about half a bottle worth of shots of vodka. I wasn't the only one drinking. I watched this with someone else, but I'm doing the podcast by myself. So yeah, that's the alcohol portion of this. The Great Pretender. I kept saying the Greatest Pretender, and I would still say Greatest Pretender. Vodka, non-alcoholic beer. What else can pretend to be this great? Because it actually turned out pretty great. Only because it reminds me of Sopro. But, woo! I have drank a lot. I should have ate more. Oh. Yeah, so let's move on to actually talking about this film, the episodes turning a film, stuff like that normally happens or isn't uncommon to happen with anime. So, let's get a bit educational with this. Great Pretender, Razbliuto, has a weird way it released. So first, it's written and directed by Hiro Kaburagi, made by Wit Studio. Also co-written by Taku Kishimoto and assistant director Mai Teshima. Don't know anything about those two, but Hiro Kaburagi did a lot of stuff. A lot of rom-coms, really, but most notably for me, because I'll probably get to it later, did the storyboard for Lupin the Third Part 4 for episode 2. That's it. I thought there was going to be a lot more when I looked this up. I was like, oh, worked on Lupin. No, just that one episode. But I say this matters to me because I got a lot of Lupin the Third feeling from Great Pretender, the whole series, and which is one of the reasons I really liked it. The music, composed by Yutaka Yamada, which I assume is the original soundtrack. I haven't seen anything else. Of course, there's an arrangement for Great Pretender in the actual series, but I don't remember if that ever popped up in this one. But Yutaka also did the music for Tokyo Ghoul and Vinland Saga. Two series I never watched, but probably most notable. I can only assume the music is vastly different than what you would see in those two series, because those are a lot more hardcore series, I would say. So the music must be different, right? But yeah, I guess some significant names. I just really like someone from Lupin the Third also worked on this. I don't think that person had a whole lot of sway from Lupin the Third to go into this. Probably inspired. It must be, right? But so the release for this, though, it's weird. from what I could find, I tried looking to double check and make sure, because it makes no sense what I found. So I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt, maybe. Look more into it if you need to prove me wrong, because I kind of hope it's wrong. Crunchyroll licensed it, but it came out in North America first, apparently, which makes no sense to me. On January 9th and 10th of 2024. I couldn't see it in theaters because there wasn't one around where I lived. It was a very limited release. Don't know why. And then came even more surprising. Then it came on Crunchyroll. I figured it would kind of come on Crunchyroll on February 22nd, which is one of the disappointing or aggravating things. Is because the rest of the series is on Netflix. And this is one of the things that is so stupid to me when it comes to licensing, is that seasons can be separated. Hulu gets a season, Crunchyroll gets a season, High Dive will get a season. Sometimes they all get that season. Sometimes one will get it exclusively. Netflix will get a movie. None of it makes sense, and it's dumb. And then the next day, on February 23rd, is when Japan got it. Now, I don't know if this is the only way I got it. On DMTV, I don't know. It's weird. But it's also broken up into 4 episodes. It's a movie on Crunchyroll. I don't know when it was finally broadcasted in Japan, if it was also broken up or if it's still a movie. But it's considered 4 episodes. And looking up more info, it says this series runs from the 23rd until no end date. So it might be more than these 4 episodes. This might be the start of the next arc or whatever. I don't know. It kind of really just felt like a side story. It could pick up with the season continuing. I don't know. I hope it does. I hope there's another season. I hope it's on Crunchyroll. I don't really watch much stuff on Netflix anymore. I need to pick it back up because there are some stuff, but the whole thing is just weird. I probably wasted more time looking up how it got released than any other information on it. Ooh, it's weird. I don't know. But it's out now. I kind of want to rewatch the whole series, though. But I probably won't get around to it. Not for a while, at least. So, yeah. Let's actually talk about this film. Reading the summary of what this is pretty much tells you all you need to know about it. It tells you a lot more in the summary than they actually get around to in the film until much later. What's her name? Dorothy. So there's a person named Dorothy, and you don't find this out until later, but it pretty much says it in the description. Is found, gets shot, found is Well, first let me say this. This pretty much picks up right where the rest of the series ended. After the 23rd episode, this is kind of what was hinted at, which is cool and glad it did it. But if you don't watch that, or if you don't remember it because it was so long ago, you kind of a little bit lost on who this person is and why it matters. But got shot on a con, fell in water, got found by some old couple and was adopted. Renamed Lee Xiangcheng. Yeah, that's the backstory. That's all you need to know. Trouble happens. Some people discover who Dorothy Xiangcheng actually is and come after her. But there's stuff that happens in between, which I'm going to talk about. So it opens up with Xiangcheng. I'm going to call it. In my notes, I put Zhang because I didn't realize her actual name because I didn't read the description of the film until afterwards. Didn't realize her name was Dorothy until the very end. So, yeah. Zhang's dreaming in water, probably to do with the fact that she was floating in water when she was found. I think he saw a zoo at some point. I don't know, something like that. It was weird. And then wakes up to a cat's butt and balls just staring her directly in the face. Yeah, a bit of comedic humor. I mean, the whole series is pretty humorous, but weird. I would not be happy if that happened to me. Anyway, let's see. So there's a con man. Name Ai Young. Probably would just refer to the person as Ai because that's how most people call Ai. But trying to trick Young and her family, mainly her adopted mom, into going on to a fake Kyoto trip that takes place in Taipei. Which, here's the thing I'm going to bring up before I forget. Because it kind of is brought up later. Because, spoiler alert, they go to Japan at some point. And she's talking to someone and says, "Oh, your English is pretty good." And then it hit me, oh yeah, at the beginning of the series, they say all this stuff is in English. They're just switching it to Japanese for convenience sake. The whole humor, if you watch the beginning of the actual series, you know what I'm talking about. And then I also realized, what languages are these people actually speaking? Because they're in Taipei. They're probably speaking a Chinese language. And now they're going to Japan. But then it brings up talking or speaking in English. Which it makes sense. They both look like foreigners. I didn't think about it. I just assumed, oh yeah, they're all speaking Japanese. And then it's like, wait. And they're in Taiwan. Why would they be speaking Japanese? So yeah, all of it comes from like a translated standpoint or viewpoint or whatever. No one's speaking, to me now, no one's speaking the same language, or they're all speaking English somehow for some reason, or whatever language is appropriate at the time, and they're just switching back and forth. I don't know, it's weird. So yeah, this comment, trying to trick Xinjiang and your mother into going to Kyoto, but immediately busted. Xinjiang realizes what's going on, calls the tourist agency he's supposedly representing, gets busted, starts groveling, and Zhang pretty much takes pictures of stuff just to blackmail and lets him go. And so, okay, cool. Good, nice, easy beginning. And then we find there's a syndicate, another group of con men, group of them that we'll see throughout this. Jay, Bing Yan, some woman who seemed very familiar to me. I still don't remember exactly. And then Jiaoling, just another person who's kind of just really sketchy. And you never really know whose side this person's on. And they work for another person named Sai, who you would imagine. It's pretty much a kingpin. Knockoff ball, really on drugs, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't really do anything but boss people around. But Jay goes to Zhangzhang to try to get the blackmail picture back from. They make some kind of deal, like go on a date or just have a good time. I don't know. It's kind of weird. All this kind of goes really fast in the beginning because it's 4 episodes. I think the next shortest arc in the series is like 5 episodes. So they really try to cram it in there. And they go on a date. It goes really well. And they end up having a lot of fun in a hotel room. A lot of fun. And it seems like Jay's a decent guy. Not actually conning, I guess. I don't know, just trying to figure out who Zhang Zhang really is, I guess. I don't know. All of it's so suspicious all the time, and I think it's because I know how the series goes. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And then, I don't know, Zhang Zhang's just still drunk. It's the next morning. Jay's in the shower or the bathroom cleaning up. Zhang comes in and almost commits death by snooze on Jay. Really, it was from camera angles and stuff. It seems like Jay was about to get some head, but instead slips and busts his head on the tub. Goes to the hospital, all that stuff. And now it seems like Jay lost his memory, maybe? And then immediately they go to some kind of festival or whatever. He eats some stinky tofu and one has an allergic reaction and then also gets all his memories back, but doesn't tell Zhangzong that. All of this doesn't really seem like it would matter in how quick all the turnaround is. But they include it in there. And then we get a cameo, I guess. I don't know. A little, what do you call it? Crossover from the actual series. This is when I thought the main character was actually going to show up. Edamame, if you remember who that is, shows up. He's just talking with Ai, doing the whole trip con. Pretty sure Ai was probably going to try to con Ai. Or Edamame was going to con Ai. But all this gets interrupted because I think it was Zhao Lin offers Ai a chance or a lot of money to find Jay and figure out what's going on, and this woman, because he kind of just fell off the radar. A lot of just weird stuff. There's a whole nother group. Sai has a boss named Wong, or I guess it's all their bosses, who ends up being Jay's dad, or like dad. It's the whole like family hierarchy for like a gang or whatever, but I don't think it's his real dad. I don't think so. But Being Young has been working on some deal in Singapore with him. Just a lot of other back stuff in the background that's going on, but it doesn't matter till the end because it's all rushed and nothing is very explained that much. Who I was watching when it kept asking me what was going on, I was like, I'm watching this first time too. I also understand all this stuff is weird. So Edamame's time with Ari's interrupted because Ari's looking for Jay. He finds Jay right away in the bathroom. Yeah. And that's kind of where the story of this really starts kicking off. Let's see. So, yeah, Ari, it's been 10 years. I already said that. When John was found by an old couple. Yeah. See, this is when Sheng finally tells a past after all this happens to Jay, which is when I first found out about it. Which, if you read the description of the film, you would already know all this stuff. So it's not a surprise to anyone that actually pays attention going into a movie. But me, who for some reason keeps forgetting to read descriptions of movie, it's because I knew I wanted to watch Great Pretender, so I didn't even bother. I just went right into it. Yeah, I should have brushed up at least a little bit. So now, Ai is now helping Sheng and Jay escape. They are at her apartment and they have to escape from it. There's a comedic time where Ai is, of course, attracted to Zhang. Maybe I should just say Dorothy. Dorothy, sorry if that's going to be weird. And gets a secondhand kiss. Like, kisses Jay in order to get Dorothy's kiss. It leaves like a lipstick mark on Jay, which is the weird part. I don't know why one of them would put on lipstick, or maybe it's just there like a comedic, cartoonish effect. I don't know. That was just a bit of humor added to it. Then Ai and Jay go to get the passport from Jay's apartment, and there's a whole plan of course, they knew people would be there, so Ai was going to go wait on the top of the building, leave some kind of contraption there for Jay. Jay was going to lure the people out. While that was happening, Ai goes back to the apartment, gets the passport. Jay goes back up to the roof, and then jumps off the roof. But Ai forgot the contraption, so he's just having to make do, doing like a kind of zipline thing, but it doesn't work, and he ends up falling. Somehow lives after falling off a very, very tall building, and things still are okay. And here's the thing I like about what happens now is because they don't just assume, oh, okay, Jay's dead now, that's fine. They're like, he might have survived. We need to go check. Good, because that's usually never what happens and stuff like this. They're just like, he's dead. It'll be fine now. Job's over. They're still going to check, but they just lose track of him. He really shouldn't be alive, of course. But, yeah, there's another flashback. I think it was, Ai goes, they meet up, split off again. I think Zhang realizes Jay has his memory, all that, real quick, meets up with them. Then Ai tells the backstory of how the two of them met, I and J. Ooh. And it was something like IU was just trying to con some, what I assume was forgery watches. Jay came up. I don't know if that was how they actually met. He came up and helped with the con, realizing what was going on right away, or they already knew and that was their first job together. But it's just stuff like that. It just shows a little bit of how they struggled together in the beginning. And it's insinuated that's how Wong, the big bad of this story, eventually got a hold of Jay. But yeah, then Jay's gonna go off somewhere. He had to go. This part makes no sense. I don't know why they split up again, just to try to. I thought they split up because Jay had a whole other big plan, some other side plan to go on, but nothing. He didn't. Nothing else happened. He went to go get his passport because I hid it for him. But why? Did they split up? Or did they ever meet up again outside? I don't know. Oh, I might be forgetting or confusing stuff, but Agi and Dorothy fly to Osaka, and then I guess they go Kyoto afterwards. And then the whole time Jay goes, gets passport, but apparently Agi betrayed him, ratted him out, and then Xiaolin, the weird kind of sketchy guy person, just goes, finds him at the locker where the passport was hidden, tases him, ties him up, takes him back. And then this whole time, this is when more of the details, or at least when I realized what was going on, with Byung working for the Singapore deal, and Wong find out more that Zhang Zhang probably conned this old man before, and that's how Dorothy lost her memory. And this, okay. So now I and Dorothy are in Japan. There's another con man, a pickpocket. The person who Dorothy was talking to about speaking English well, which is why I brought the whole thing up. And it's kind of a scene that mimics the beginning. He's trying to con Dorothy. He sees him, kind of tackles. There's a little scuffle, but it turns out the pickpocket got Dorothy's wallet. I realized it, got it back from him, but while he's getting back from him, the pickpocket also got Dorothy's watch and IE's phone. They go through all that, and then a little bit later, they're sitting around. They see the guy again. They confront him again, and then now this guy's groveling, just like in the beginning. Gives him some information, and sends him to like a restaurant. Where I put it? Go to a restaurant where the person, I don't remember if it ever said the person's name, but she remembers Dorothy as Deandra, something like that. And had like a box of stuff for her. All that stuff. So, while all that's going on, the old man Wong really finally appears and makes some moves. Goes, confronts Sai because people escape, not really doing a good job, and kind of forces Sai to overdose. So, yeah, that's it. Goes on. Let's see. And then Jay finally, he is with Xiaolin. Managed to. Now there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. I didn't write any of it down. Apparently, I forgot. Xiaolin tied up. Escapes because Xiaolin sends him a taser and some like delivery food of more stinky tofu that he's allergic to. He uses that to tase the guards and escapes, goes to Xiaolin. And then Xiaolin gets him again and gets stinky tofu, tries to get him again, but then instead Xiaolin throws up all over him and tases Xiaolin and ties him up. And then that's when Wong purposely overdoses Sai. Ooh, I'm not getting all over the place. This is when stuff starts getting kind of intense or like more complicated. The motion is going. It's going for me. I'm just now remembering all of it. Ooh, it's yeah. So Jay is on a flight to Japan when apparently Wong knew what was going on the whole time. Is there with Bignon and some other guy who this whole time I thought was going to be Edamame or Laurent in disguise. It wasn't. Maybe that's just too much Lupin the Third for me. Getting influence. Yeah, the whole time I thought it was, we're going to pop up. Because the person never really did much, was just there, but was very visibly there, but not do anything. So I was like, just a disguise, something like that. There's this whole plan going on, which I was right about that. There was a whole big scheme going on behind Wong's back that nobody else really even knew about. So, yeah, on the Wong, these other people, on a flight with Jay to Japan, makes sure they can track Jay so they can't betray Wong. And even Jay says he can't betray Wong. Never really says why. There's not really much backstory given there of why Jay is so loyal to Wong. Just another thing I'm going to chalk up to, we just weren't given enough time to do it. So, Wong keeps trying to do some kind of investment deal in Japan. Some kind of Yakuza thuggy types. That falls through. Tries to go someone else. I don't even remember how that resolved. I assume it didn't work. We don't know what this investment deal even is supposed to be. Probably just a con of some kind. But through all this, Jay did find IE and Zhang. They went back to the restaurant, but then some fake police come because of Wong. They escape from that, be in a different restaurant, and then Jay decides to just go confront Wong. So it's the big final showdown, and I'm trying to remember clearly because all of it happens so fast, and it's not like it's hugely climactic. Yeah, it kind of is, but it's nothing hugely special. Wong pretty much threatens and is about to kill Jay, and then I think that's when Dorothy shows up. Oh man, what's going on? And this whole time, Dorothy and IE show up, and this whole time Wong is wanting to only really wants Dorothy because he wants to know where the blonde asshole is, referring to Laurent. Jay doesn't really know. Dorothy still doesn't have memory from before 10 years ago, so doesn't know who this person is either. For some reason, Augie knows all this information, and I can only suspect. I think he says he has like a inside person in the syndicate or something, but I can only suspect he was getting the information from Edamame. That's the whole reason Edamame was included earlier, was just to be there. But yeah, and then Mignon for some reason decides she's going to shoot Dorothy. Don't think it was a real shot, and then going to do some more shooting. Then out of nowhere, Geraldine shows up in van, rescues everyone, and then that's when it turns out Mignon, the other random guy, the con person from earlier, betrays Wong. There's a phone call from Laurent, I think, and he talks to Wong, and they just kind of do whatever. It just ends it. It all happens so fast. I'm kind of getting details mixed up. But then just leaves him there. And then that's when the little thug group he was trying to make a deal with earlier pops up and takes him away, does something with him. We don't really see Wong's actual fate. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. There was a con going on the whole time. Bignon was apparently doing stuff to try to take down Wong. Had nothing to do with Jay. Maybe Xiaolin was also part of it. This other random guy, apparently this Japanese pickpocket, they were all in on it. But not Dorothy, Jay, maybe IE. Maybe. Still think he had some kind of connection with Edamame. And then this whole time, Laurent. I think Bignon was working for Laurent because She does refer to him as boss at one point. But yeah, all of it just happens really fast and is over. And that's it. So, yeah. Then we find out the more stuff. Young didn't actually shoot Dorothy. Everything. Jay offers to go traveling with Dorothy, but Dorothy turns Jay down and decides to just go off alone, spend time in Japan. I guess Jay just goes off wherever. And this is where I didn't even know until I looked up more information about later, but Dorothy is Lawrence's ex, and now Dorothy is Jay's ex. And this is where Razbliuto comes in. The sentimental feeling you have about someone you once loved but no longer do. And I think that's towards Lawrence. It could also be towards Jay now, or maybe it still is. But I'm also thinking, because there's I don't think it was after credit scene. There's a final scene where Dorothy is in an airport waiting for her mom to come and join her. And Lawrence kind of passes by, says something. And there's like a smirk or a little smile from Dorothy that kind of is like, maybe Dorothy remembers? Maybe this whole time Dorothy actually did have her memory and is just so committed and not want to get discovered. But who knows? Because that's how it ends. Weird. It was weird. I'm so confused. I don't think if this is episodes, it would make much more sense. I wish there was at least one more episodes. If it was at least maybe 20 minutes longer, it would be okay. This was less than an hour and a half. And I've gone on rants before about how these films should be at least 2 hours. No film, no movie that, especially if you go to see in theaters, which some people I guess did, no movie should be less than 2 hours. There's so much more information that could be in this film that would make things so much clearer that it's not. Now, maybe if you watched the first 23 episodes of Great Pretender and immediately went into watching this, it might be more clear, or stuff might make more sense, or you wouldn't really need any more. It still would be nice, but I feel like there's just a lot of stuff that's left out. And there's not a satisfying conclusion to like these characters. So there needs to be more. Maybe these people team up more with Lauren and Mame later in whatever the next arc or season is going to be. This is kind of just their introduction. It's kind of, it feels very Fast and Furious when I think about all this stuff, which I'm not a huge Fast and Furious fan. I wouldn't say I am at all. But yeah, it's a weird thing. And it works as a movie. It works as a season. No, not a season, because it's only 4 episodes. It works as an arc or whatever, but I just wanted more. I just wanted more explanation for some stuff. I thought there'd be like, the whole thing would end, and there would be like a overview, a whole explanation of like, this is what was actually going on the whole time, and reveal the grand plan, like kind of like you would see in like a detective thing or another heist thing or whatever, or some kind of twist, and it was like, this is what happened in the background that you didn't know, we're revealing it now. No, there wasn't anything like that. That would have been very satisfying if it did, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. But I don't know, it was okay. I enjoyed it. Everything was nice. Animation, kind of wacky. Music, good. I dig the music. But, I don't know. I guess I just wish there was more to it. I'm sorry if all this just sounded crazy or just like a mess. The movie kind of felt like it too. It did, not so much as it was all over the place, but it's just like, you're always confused about what was going on. And I was like, yeah, it's a movie about cons and stuff, so maybe that's on purpose. But I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. Oh, I put the syndicate's name is the Shanghai Longbong. Just to bring that up. I put it in my notes, I never mentioned it. I don't know if it has any significance. I don't remember if it's ever actually said in the film, but I think it was in the description. See, when the description of the film or summary of the film tells you more than the actual film does, you miss the mark. You miss something. You left something out that was probably important. You need a bit more explanation. And if this was because they were trying to fit it into 4 episodes, limited by 20 minutes each, then that's the problem. Maybe if they would have tried for a whole actual film originally, maybe that would have been better. But the whole way it was released is weird because it seemed like it was originally released as a film. I don't know what's going on with this. And I don't like when stuff like this happens because it makes it harder for the rest of the series. And it might be a turnoff for people. And I really like the series. I don't know. So much weird stuff. But I did like it. It was like, besides the weirdness, I liked it just because I really like how everything works together in this. The Great Pretender series overall. So I was excited to see it, excited to do it. Still wish I could have went and saw it in theaters, but may have come out feeling even less excited about it than I probably sound now. But yeah, I guess the last point to bring up, plenty of drinking. A lot of beer. Nothing like that sticks out too much, but I feel like this is alcohol in anime. I need to point out the alcohol that I see in anime. It kind of fits with what I'm drinking, especially now that I mix this vodka and non-alcoholic beer together. It kind of tastes like soju. Not soju. Sapporo. I was like, oh, it's kind of fitting, even though this takes place in Taiwan. That's the other thing you kind of forget is where this actually takes place. You kind of, some of the architecture you can kind of place is being, oh, that's kind of Chinese or whatever. Sometimes they actually say the name, especially once they're in Japan. I feel like they say like Kyoto or Osaka, stuff like that a lot more. But while they're in Taipei, I don't know if they actually say where they're at ever. They talk about Kyoto, they talk about Singapore. They don't really talk about the fact that they're in Taipei or in Taiwan at all. Maybe it's mentioned a couple times, but nothing that stands out. The only thing I remember is they're sitting somewhere, eating somewhere. In the background, you can see something that says Taipei, like in English characters. And I was like, why Taipei? Is that another name for it? I don't know. Why a B instead of a P? Animation is because you don't want to just straight up be like, oh, this is Taipei. I don't know. Just weird stuff going on that makes it a little confusing. And that might be on me. If I watched the rest of the series, it might have been better. I might have been less confused. But I don't feel like you need to watch the rest of the series for... That sounds contradicting. But I don't feel like you actually do need to watch the rest of the series to watch this film and enjoy it. It's more like little cameos, Easter eggs. I think I just had expectations because I was expecting them to come in and play a bigger part when they probably did play a big part in a subtle way from the background. They played an important part, which was they don't need to be seen. They're common. They don't need to be just out there doing the stuff. They can work from the shadows and stuff like that. But it was nice to see Edamame and Laurent. If anything else is forgotten, I don't know. I kind of want to rewatch the series, but I don't have that much time to rewatch stuff. So I'll just have to do what I gotta do, I guess. But yeah, that's it. That's my mess of a summary and my thoughts on it. Definitely go watch it, especially if you're a Great Pretender fan and you haven't watched this yet. Brush up beforehand just to remember if it's been a while for you. If you have the chance to watch all the original series and then watch this, that might be nice to do. If you haven't watched it at all but still interested in this movie, you might be a little confused about what's going on, but yeah, go in. My problem is I went in with the mindset that Edamame and Lauren are still kind of the main characters, and this was just us getting introduced to Dorothy and her meeting them, when it was really just Dorothy the whole time. Really Jay the whole time. I feel like it was more about Jay for most of it than even Dorothy. So I hope there's more. I hope Dorothy, Jay, all of them become part of the other main crowd, and they all go on some giant heist or plan or con later in the series. I think this is an original anime. It's not based off of a manga or a book, so we have no idea what's in store for us. And that's cool. That's exciting. I really like it, but it also just makes it really confusing. When you don't know, you don't have anything else to look back on or compare it to. Because animation is really limited, I feel like, in comparison to like manga or a book or whatever. So, it's whatever. But yeah, that's it. That's all I really have to say about it. I had a decent drink that was surprising. The movie I enjoyed, regardless of the confusing parts of it. I still recommend it. I think I did a review on Great Pretender, or at least at some point somewhere on my YouTube. I probably have somewhere of me talking about The Great Pretender. So you can go look it up if you want to see me talk more about it. Maybe it was the later episodes I talked about only that kind of rings a bell, but I don't know. But let me know what you thought of it. Let's talk more about it. Let me know what alcohol, or maybe even any other drinks. I had a non-alcoholic beer, so maybe even other non-alcoholic drinks that seem like they would be the greatest pretender. Even better pretender than people pretending vodka is water and vice versa. Even greater pretender than non-alcoholic beer trying to think it's beer. Yeah, let me know what you think about that. Let's talk more about this movie and all kinds of stuff. And you're like, where can you do that? Well, you can do that. Well, I don't know where you're listening to this. Wherever you're listening to it, if you can leave comments or something on there, you can do that. You can find me on social media, theacstories. You can also email me at theacstories@gmail.com. And I also have a Discord you can join. We can talk a whole lot more there about all kinds of stuff if you want to do that. But yeah, I think that's most of the places you can find me. I also have a Ko-fi if you care to check that out. I want to thank my Ko-fi member Julio, Vasquez. If you also want to help support, it's just $1 or $3, however much. Get little things like my notes to this and my mess of a notes, other whatever stuff, exclusive Discord. So you can join that. You don't have to. I appreciate it if you do, but all this stuff I'll leave links to, easy for you to find. Go at it. I thank you if you do. But if you like this, go ahead, like, heart, do what, favorite, wherever you listen to it. If you can also subscribe, follow this podcast if you're not already, wherever you're listening to it. And then, the most important part, the thing that probably may help the most, if you really like this, share it with people. Tell people about it. Man, it's hard to imagine anyone for any reason recommending this, but go ahead and do it. And then, lastly, rate. Hopefully 5 stars, but rate it however you like, because apparently that helps, and it helps algorithms and all that stuff, because apparently I have to cater algorithm stuff if I want any kind of discoverability. But also, it's just nice to see what people are actually thinking about it, and all this random rambling. But that is it for this episode of Alcohol Anime. Thank you so much for listening. I've been your otaku Tanner, the AC Stories. Until next time, bye.